Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some do's and don'ts of the MRCEM primary exam, more like some exam day tips. So before we get into this video, I'm just going to talk about some things. These exam day tips are from my own personal experience. So if you can learn something from it, take it. If these tips don't really suit your board, you can leave them. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into this. The first and most important point is going to be sleep. So I've had this problem that throughout my life with my exams, I'm not able to sleep like at all before my exams. So it's not a really good habit. I feel it has hindered me in some of my exams in the past as well. So I would recommend that you sleep somewhere between 3 to 4 hours before your exam. It really helps you be attentive and really access the knowledge that you've accumulated over months preparing for this exam. The next point is going to be time. So I think it's really important that you reach the exam center at least 30 minutes before the exam, or try to reach at your reporting time. That's usually an hour before the exam. So the importance of that is that you get to the exam center, you can like put your things away, you'll have to sign in before the exam, you can do that, and you can just really absorb the exam center environment, the temperature, how's the lighting going to be, just really get relaxed with the exam center environment, because you're going to be giving your exam over there for the next 3 hours. The other thing that I feel that I feel like a lot of the things that I'm sharing, I'm not doing them myself, but I feel a good healthy breakfast is really important before your exam. You need that energy, you need those calories, because you're going to be under a lot of stress. You're going to be doing some deep cognition during the exam. So I think it's a really good thing if you have a really good breakfast, or at least eat something, so you don't feel exhausted during your exam. The other thing that I totally missed out on during my exam was I forgot to keep a snack with me, and one of my other exam mates was really kind enough to pass me one of his. But I would recommend take some biscuits, chocolates, anything with a lot of sugar in it, because it's going to be a 3-hour exam. It's going to be exhausting. Maybe take like 4 to 5 minutes at the 1 hour 30-minute mark, hydrate yourself, eat something, so that you can stay attentive throughout the exam. Another one of the tips that I would share is that just before the exam, I've written here 4 to 6 hours, but like at least 2 to 3 hours before the exam, stop exercising, like stop going through the MCQs. And again, this is just one of my personal tips, like I don't like to go through the material like 2 to 3 hours before the exam. Just really let your mind relax. And if you believe in yoga, like you can try it. I feel like it really helps you calm your nerves and really helps you get into that zone, right? Because you've been studying for this exam over months, you've got the knowledge, and you can do this. So just last minute cramming, it doesn't really work for me. If it works for you, go for it. But for me, it hasn't really worked in the past. So I just like myself to be relaxed and really attentive when I'm going for an exam. The other point is going to be stay focused. Like, you have worked hard for this exam. You got this. You just need to believe in yourself and just take a good feel of the exam center. Just stay focused, focus on yourself. Like, I see a lot of people chit chatting, a lot of people trying to get to know you just before the exam. I'm not really a big fan of that. I prefer to be attentive, to stay in my space, and if you can relate with that, just stay focused and I would say it again, believe in yourself. Like, you've studied for this exam, you got this. One of the other things that I found myself, like I'm one of those people who would do the exam like really quick. Like, I remember my MRCEM primary exam, around the 2-hour mark, I was done with my exam. But this is one of the tips that I've been taught by my seniors, and I feel it really, really helpful. Always recheck your exam. If you're someone who's a bit like me, who has 30-40 minutes left before the exam ends, do not be in a hurry to leave your seat and go outside. Just recheck your answers. And I don't mean for you to be double-minded on any question, but like just recheck your sheet. You might know the right answer, you might have clicked the wrong answer. So these sort of mistakes can happen to the best of us. So rechecking is always better than regretting it later on. Another one of tips would be when you're doing your exam, like it's your first go through, you started the exam. If you're not really sure about the question, don't really waste your time on it. All right, just move on to the next question. Time management is really, really key in this exam. You don't want to mess up your time management. Like you don't want to be at the end of your exam, you've got like 30-40 minutes left and you have over 50-60 questions left. So if you're confused, just skip it, move on to the next question, and you can get back to that question in the end, right? And then at the end, just stay relaxed, right? You have worked hard, your hard work is not going to betray you, you're going to be fine. Whatever knowledge you've accumulated, use it, and at the end of the day, just remember that it is just another exam. And I understand, as an IMG myself, these exams are really expensive. A lot of hard work goes into going through these exams, starting from getting an exam booking, getting your Pearson VUV venue, then getting the question banks. A lot of physical and financial struggle is going into that exam. I understand that. But at the same time, I would really recommend you to not really let that pressure burden you down. It's just an exam. And then once you are done with that exam, right, regardless of how you feel your exam went, it was way better than you thought you did. Okay, so if you're like me, someone who after every exam feels that I think I screwed my exam over, it's going to be fine, right? And treat yourself to something nice. And for me, that was a really cold slush after the exam. It can be anything for you. And yeah, these were my exam day tips. Another thing I would like to add is that in the previous video, a lot of people were asking in the comments, so I'm just going to add it here. Since the Royal College isn't very in favor of this, the other thing I'm going to say is that whether you're doing MRCEM Success or whether you are using some other form of MRCEM, every question bank has a set of questions which are known as the recall questions. So this video is going to come very near to the exam, so do those recall questions. Do them like there's no tomorrow. Do them until like you can repeat them in your sleep or even after getting after your sleep, right? So do those recall questions. And yeah, good luck. I hope the exam goes well for all of you guys. Thank you for listening, and that's it for today.